welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Livemas. Thank you so much for joining. As you probably guessed by the title, today I'm talking about 5 of my comfort reads. Now I class a comfort read as an easy read that I can pick up if I know I'm going into a book slump. So these books are books that I love to pick up and read. I will do it in order of my top comfort read, so the book that I go to the most often, and my least comfort read, the book that I don't go to as often. I will also put some honourable mentions at the end, because there are some books that I've read this year that I think I know are going to become comfort reads, or reads that if I reread again, I know will become a comfort read. So yes, we're going to start off with number 5 and go to number 1. I don't know why I'm singing. In at number 5 is A Court of Thorn and Roses. This is a beautiful book that I love to read, and I know that I enjoy the story so much that I can read it in like a day or two. Such a good comfort read for me. The reason why it's number 5 and not higher up on the list is because where it is part of a series, I find that I end up wanting to read the next books in the series, and I kind of feel like comfort reads should be about a standalone book that I love to read, but I had to put this on this list because it is a comfort read for me and I will read it several times. In at number 4 is actually a book that I only read last year, and that is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This was a book that I absolutely adored the first time, and I was starting to go into a little bit of a book slump and I didn't know what I was going to read. So I picked this up because I thought I loved the story. It's a standalone and it's a really short, quick, easy read. So I picked it up and I reread it, and instantly I knew it was going to become a comfort read. So it's a fairly new comfort read. I haven't read it that many times, only read it twice. But it is just an amazing book, and if you haven't read it, I think you need to go read it because it's an amazing standalone. Book number 3 is Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. Now this is a fairly old book, it's about 10 years old. I first read it on Kindle and I knew I had to get it in physical paperback, so I got it. This is kind of an enemies to lovers, but the enemies to lovers happens over 3 books. This is only book 1, so I do kind of have a thing where I read this. If I read this as one of my comfort reads, I have to read the other 2 books in it as well. So it's more like a comfort series than a comfort read, like a standalone. But I love it so much that it had to be at number 3. Because I recently did a reread and I read this book in a day. You know how slow I can be at reading. The fact that I read this in a day, just amazing. I loved it so much. So that was Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. In at number 2 is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. This my favourite vampire book ever. It's so nice, so good. I love it so much. And again, a small, easy read. And where I know the storyline so much, it's there. So I'm so looking forward to reading this in January when we do our read along. I'll leave a link in the description below to the announcement for that. But yes, this book, it's so good. And then in at number 1 is Mate States The Secret Story. This story will have a special place in my heart forever. This is obviously Tony and Lucy's romance story throughout the entirety of the Mate States series. It's such a cute, sweet story. And actually, I don't read this copy anymore when I do my rereads. I have it on Kindle that I read because this book is falling apart. I've read it so many times that like literally the seam is coming off, so I don't actually read this anymore. But I love it so much. I first came across this during World Book Day. I got a little teaser for it for the £1 tokens, and so I read it and I had to get the physical book. So I've been reading this since I was, I want to say about 13, 14, and I've read it so many times the book is falling apart. Like, that's how many times I've read it. If I could get a new copy of it, I would, but I don't think it's in print anymore. This is a first edition. This is a first edition. So yeah, you can't get this copy anymore, which I'm sad about. I wish I could get another copy so that I could read a physical copy again, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yes, this book, favourite comfort read, is the book that I go to when I know I'm going to hit a really hard slump. It's a nice, quick, easy, young YA romance. It is young YA. Lucy starts off as 13 or 14 at the beginning of the book and ends as a 15-year-old, so it's over the span of 2 years. And again, Tony starts off as a 16-year-old and ends as an 18-year-old. So, such a good book. I love it so much. So, some honourable mentions that I think I need to say that could be comfort reads going into the future. One of those is Crave by Tracy Wolff. I don't have it on me currently, but Crave by Tracy Wolff I think is going to become a comfort read for me. I'm currently in the middle of doing a buddy read with some friends for a reread of mine, but they're reading it for the first time, and I'm reading it and I'm like falling in love with the story all over again. Such a quick, easy read, so I know it's going to be a book that I love. So I think that's going to definitely become a comfort read. Another honourable mention is Crescent City. It's not a comfort read for me personally because it's very large and quite emotional, but it's definitely a book that I will reread again and again and again. It just won't be a comfort read. Another comfort read that's currently hopefully going to be a comfort read soon is Heartstopper. It's obviously the graphic novel by Alice Oseman. Such a cute love story, and I cannot wait to get more in the series. But book 1 and 2, like volumes 1 and 2, definitely comfort reads of mine. We're growing into comfort reads. So yes, that is my list of comfort reads. I hope you enjoyed the list. I hope it gave you some ideas. If there are any books on that list that you wanted to read, let me know. I always enjoy talking about books to people, so leave comments below. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below to a Goodreads list that I will create specifically for my comfort reads, and I'll add any books that I kind of want to when I get more comfort reads. I love comfort reads. I love rereading books. So yes, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.